Hello my friends, it is Aimee Esther here, and today I wanted to share with you my symptoms. I have several chronic illnesses, and so I have lots of different symptoms, and I wanted to share every symptom I have from all my chronic illnesses, all the pain and the annoyance that I feel every single day. And there's a couple reasons why I'm sharing this with you today. The first one is so if there's anyone out there who is sharing symptoms with me, maybe we can help you figure out what's wrong with you, or just find someone to connect with who has similar symptoms. The other reason is I have a few videos coming out later where it would be helpful for me to share with you all the symptoms I have, but there's so many that it would take so long to do in every video. So this is gonna be my video about all of the symptoms I have, and let me know in the comments below if you have any of these symptoms like I do. Hey guys, welcome back. If you've been here before, I am so happy that you are watching this video. If it is your first time here, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my videos about my life with chronic illness. I would assume you would know that if I have all these symptoms, I have chronic illnesses. So I have POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, SIBO with small intestine bacterial overgrowth, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, I have leaky gut syndrome, I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, I have endometriosis, I have chronic migraines, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, lots of things going on in my crazy body. Now, I think POTS is kind of like the central one that I have. All of my other chronic illnesses kind of stem from that one. I started with SIBO. That was the first symptoms that I started getting, was small intestine bacterial overgrowth symptoms. And then about 6 months later, my POTS symptoms started, and then it just spiraled into all these other problems. So I have lots and lots of symptoms. So I have a list here, and I'm gonna start with just like whole body things, and then we're gonna work from my feet back up to my head. So hopefully I didn't miss any. If I did, I will share those at the end, just written out form. So, these are the pains I feel every day. So I have fatigue, and that is all over my body. I also get twitches where it's usually when I'm having a flare-up, and I'll just twitch like this. And I feel like I can control it. This is how I explain it. Like if someone paid me $1,000 not to twitch, I could stop, but like it feels good to twitch, right? It's kind of like itching something. So I have these twitches, I get shaky all over. I have muscle pain and aches that are everywhere, mostly in my legs. And when it's really bad, it's in my arms and in my abdomen. And it just feels like an achy, almost like when you get a cold, but like times 10, to the point where I would refer to it more as a pain rather than an ache, because it is just, it's painful. And it's in all of my muscles, and it's not fun. I get purple and cold feet. My feet get ice cold. In fact, they're cold right now. If I touch them, they feel really cold, and they turn purple when I stand. My feet fall asleep often, like they get that tingly feeling. I'll get that anywhere on my hands, mostly on my extremities, my hands and my feet. Moving up the body, now I get really painful periods, like so painful. I've never met anyone whose periods are as painful as mine. So if you have painful periods, let's be friends, because I don't have any friends who understand how painful my periods are. They are so painful. They are irregular. They're irregularly irregular. They are very long, but they come at the same time, just every 36 or so days. So, sorry if that's too much information for you, but we're talking about periods here. We talk about all the things on my channel. Not afraid to talk about it. I also have very heavy periods, so we're getting all the TMI and lots of clots, so that's really fun. My periods are just real awful. So yeah. I have really painful ovaries. I get cysts on my ovaries, and sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of the time they rupture, and about every month I have a cyst rupture. So I actually haven't had one since I had a baby, which is hallelujah. We'll see if I get them back. Probably will, but pretty much since I started my periods, I have always had cyst rupture. That's super fun. And then when they're not ruptured, I just have constant ovary pain. Great fun. I've had several kidney stones, and randomly I have kidney pain. I don't know if it's anything related to anything. Never really got it checked out, but I randomly have kidney pain, and I've had lots of stones. I get lots of gas pains. I don't really know why, but even if I'm like not gassy, I get like that pain just all over my abdomen. More TMI. I switch between constipation and diarrhea. Depends on the time of my life, depends on my diet, but I pretty much always have one of the two. I have really loud stomach sounds. I don't know how else to explain this, but like you can just hear my stomach trying to move food through from a mile away. It's so loud. I have constant stomach pain on my upper left side, and yeah, pretty much every time I eat, if I don't eat, I always have stomach pain. If I eat sugar, that's probably when it's the worst, but pretty much always my stomach hurts. And I have acid reflux. I get severe bloating, very severe bloating, like I look like I'm pregnant all the time. I have nausea pretty much constantly. I've gotten so used to it that I just like can eat through it. It doesn't really bother me much anymore. But yeah, pretty much always have nausea. I'm nauseous right now. I have a lack of appetite sometimes, and I have extreme hunger, where if I haven't eaten in the last 2 hours or so, I just get ravenous, like just so hungry, and I'll just go from super nauseous to super hungry, and it's like I have to eat right that second. And it gets especially bad when I lay down. So when I go to lay down at night, I get super hungry. If you wake me up in the middle of the night, my child over there in the other room sleeping, she wakes me up at night, I am starving. I have to eat basically every time I wake up. I just feel starving all the time. Not all the time, but every time I lay down. And then during the day, it switches between nausea and extreme hunger. Super fun. And yeah, that's been like the last 3 years. I get extreme burping, where I just burp for several hours. It used to be worse when I ate more sugar. It's a lot better now with the diet I'm on. Kind of just on a plain diet, but if I eat anything that upsets my stomach, I will be burping for like 6 hours straight. Also get hiccups. Sometimes I get hiccup burps, which are like, I can't stop burping, but it's almost like as frequent as a hiccup. Yeah, okay. I also get right side pain in my gallbladder that comes and goes. It was really bad when I was pregnant. Now it's just like randomly I'll get it. I don't think it's my gallbladder actually having problems. I think it's my SIBO and my stomach problems causing it. I don't know. That's just my thought. I get shoulder and neck pain. I have knots back in my neck that travel up to my head. We'll talk about my head in a minute, but I pretty much always have pain up here. I'm really bad at keeping my shoulders out, so it's probably my fault, but my shoulders and my joints pretty much always hurt. I have TMJ, so if I like chew too much gum or I eat something really chewy, my jaw hurts. I don't think that has to do with my chronic illnesses, because I've had that for a while, but I don't know, kind of random. TMJ. My eyes don't dilate right, so when I go outside, even if it's not that bright, I am squinting, and it's like I can't even open my eyes even if it's cloudy. Like I always need sunglasses on. I am very sensitive to light, whether it is inside or outside or dark or light. It's just going from one extreme to the other. My eyes do not work very good. When I put my daughter down for naps, it's hard for me to get out of her room because it's dark in there. So either way, too dark, too light, I'm very sensitive to that. And it does sometimes cause headaches if I'm in front of a light too much. So I have my ring light here, and I have to not do too many videos at once because then I will give myself headaches, which we're moving on to now. Headaches and migraines basically daily. I had a very severe migraine the past 24 hours. It is finally on its way out, but yeah, I get migraines a lot. I'm actually getting the daft piercing this weekend, so I'll let you know how that goes. But my head always hurts. I get very dizzy and very lightheaded every single time I stand, feeling like I'm going to pass out pretty much all the time. I have heart palpitations. This is happening right now. This is random. The top of my mouth itches really bad all the time. Just like randomly, if you see me like itching here and then itching with my tongue, or just like the top of my mouth and the top of my lip get really itchy, which is weird. I'm not sure if that's allergies or what. But going back to this, heart palpitations and shortness of breath. So I cannot do cardio. I tried going to a high fit class once. I almost died. And I didn't almost die. That was very extreme. But I couldn't breathe. I was having a hard time breathing by about halfway through. I only made it about 30 minutes. And then I had to quit because I just can't do it. I get short of breath really fast, walking upstairs, doing simple little things. I have an abnormal heartbeat. So when I stand up, my heart starts beating really, really fast because my blood is not flowing. So my heart will beat really, really fast, up 150 beats per minute or so when I stand up. Super great. I have really terrible memory and brain fog. It's so bad. I've talked about this quite a bit before, but I'll just say the wrong word. Sometimes the words get switched in my head where I'll ask my husband to get me something and I'll say the completely wrong word. He just has to figure out what I'm talking about. Or if I'm having a conversation with someone, I just have to take a minute and think about the words before I say them. So if I'm really slow at talking, if you're having a conversation with me, then that's why. I also have insomnia. Never had this until the last couple years since my POTS symptoms started. And it's really hard for me to fall asleep at night. And then it's hard for me to stay asleep. And then it is really hard for me when someone wakes me up in the middle of the night for me to fall back asleep. So when my daughter was first born, it was very, very hard for me. People say sleep when she's sleeping, but I just can't do that. I can't nap. I just have a very hard time falling asleep. And so it's much better now that she's sleeping through the night, but I still, like last night, I just did not have a good night. I was up for a very long time. I can't turn my brain off, which going along with that is anxiety. I have anxiety a lot of the time. It's a lot better than it used to be, but I still suffer from anxiety. Depression as well, but that one is significantly better now than it was a few years ago. And I want to make a few videos about how I was able to get through that depression without any medication. Of course, if you need the medication, do it, but I was able to do it without and just change my thinking. But I was severely, severely depressed for a while. I'm also very sensitive to temperature. So temperature changes. So if it's really hot, especially, I have very severe heat intolerance. I get so sick if I go in the heat for more than just 10 minutes or so. I start to feel my symptoms of my heat intolerance. And then also on the other end is extreme cold. If it's just a little cold, I just get freezing. So I'm either freezing cold or super hot, and my husband will be feeling just fine and I will be on one extreme or the other. And my symptoms definitely flare up when I'm in those extreme temperatures. And the last one is allergies. I never had allergies until these last couple years since my symptoms started. And I just get allergies, especially this time of year in the fall and in the spring. But my nose itches, the top of my mouth itches, like we were talking about. I assume that might be allergies. My eyes itch, and I get a little bit of a runny nose and sneezes. So yeah, lots of symptoms there. Those, I think, are all the symptoms that I have. I may have forgotten any, and when I'm editing this video, I will place any other ones here if I forgot any of them. And yeah, if you have any of these symptoms, will you tell me below what you have so that I can relate to you and that we can be friends, because it's hard when no one understands you. And I know you guys who are watching this understand me and my pain. If you have other symptoms, I'd love to hear about those as well. Let's just get to know each other. Let's be friends, chronic illness friends, because we know we need each other. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful for you and that you enjoyed it. If it was, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.